Video request. Christopher Popovich. Are you Polish? Video request. What do you think on homosexuals being married to each other? I know that there was a big victory recently. The Supreme Court said that gays could be married. I think like 37 states or something like that, or maybe it's 23 states. Can't remember, but or 13 states. But yeah, I think most of them legalized marriage recently, and it gives them almost as many rights as a normal heterosexual marriage. Yeah, so that's good. I agree with that. It's interesting because they were doing a lot of coverage on it on the Young Turks. I haven't really paid attention to what they said though in the details because it's kind of complicated, but they did play some clips of some of the other people. Like Glenn Beck was like, "What? Gays can already get married? Like, what's the big deal?" And I guess he was upset about it. So, yeah, a lot of people are upset about the gays being married, and it's causing like a lot of people are protesting it and saying that they're getting like Rick Perry. It's threatening the sanctity of marriage and. The Young Turks are funny because they bring up all these points, which I agree with. All these Christians they say, oh, it's against the Bible, like Leviticus chapter something. I don't even know which one it is. A man shall marry a woman, damn it! But there's all these other quotes you could get out of the Bible. Like didn't God tell Abraham to sacrifice his own son? They could follow that. How about the one where if you have long hair, you should get killed, or the one where you're not supposed to eat pork, or the one where, there's lots of them that you can choose from, and they happen to pick that one and say, "See, God said it 3,000 years ago. It was God, so it's against God, and it's against the sanctity of the family." Well, yeah, I think that's all bullshit because. It's pretty clear to me that when you see homosexual couples walking around, they're just as solid as any heterosexual couple. They're holding hands, they're together all the time, they stay together, they love each other, they even do these sex act with each other. And there's homosexuals and men and women. I think 6% of people are gay, and probably like. Some Irish girls mentioned she heard 30%, so maybe even 30% of women are either gay or bisexual. But I mean, marriage is two people deciding they want to be together and have a significant other. That's kind of human nature. Part of marriage isn't the thing about marriage isn't just the sex anyway. It's the having a companion. One companion there with you all the time. People are social beings. They don't want to be alone, and you want to have that intimacy with somebody and have somebody who who's got your back and you have their back, and they stay together forever. And so they deserve all the same rights as marriage. There are a lot of reasons to get married. I guess you pay less taxes. You can file for income tax as a married couple, and you pay like a lot less a percentage. I don't know what it is, but I think it's a big amount. Over a lifetime, it save a lot of money that way. And of course, you can when you die, you can bequeath your belongings to somebody to your spouse. A lot easier than if you weren't married, And so, yeah, the homosexual couples deserve that, obviously, as much as the heterosexual couples. And homosexual couples can raise children just as well, too. There have been plenty of examples of kids who were raised by homosexual couples who turned out to be just fine. And they didn't turn out gay either. I mean, people are gay because they're wired that way, because they spend a lot of their recent lives as the opposite sex, and they're born into this life as a different sex for the first time, and they're born into a world that that doesn't need everybody to be heterosexual, because we have enough people in the world, and there's tons of kids out there who need to be adopted, who are grown up in foster care and stuff. And so, the way of things is that more souls will be tempted to just be born into the new sex for the experience, for this new experience that you can easily have without causing any detriment to society, because there are already enough people. The experience of knowing how to identify yourself as the opposite sex, and being able to learn how to think for yourself, and then of course showing all the people around you how to think for themselves, and that it's possible to be individual and follow your heart. And that goes true for all the people who have the sex changes too. I'm shocked over recent years of how many people are having sex changes. Oh my God, so many people having sex changes. But that's a beautiful thing too, because it teaches people to have open minds. We need people in the world these days doing stuff that's different, shaking up society, to teach everybody to have an open mind, to get us primed and ready for all the aliens to come down and really shake it up, and all the new technology here and all the possibilities and stuff we can do once we have a strong enough of a GDP where people can have enough spare time on their hands to invent new things and do new things, and all the different kinds of races that they're going to come about because of mixing of races and the mixing of cultures all over the world, and then of course aliens landing. So gay couples is just another one of those kind of warm-up changes to the way that society works that'll get people used to the idea of the aliens landing, and also teach people how to follow their own heart and not follow the rules of society, and break all of these traditions and bigotry, break it apart, and because nothing's going to break a bigoted parent's rigid views apart than if their kid is gay and tells them, and then they're like, okay, well maybe because it happened to me, maybe and now my kid's pissed off at me, maybe I shouldn't be so close-minded, and then they're not close-minded, and another one bites the dust. Hey, one by one you open people's minds and get rid of all the bigotry forever. Once it's done forever. All of this super ultra conservatism, judgmentality, like Bill O'Reilly types who say crazy stuff like, if a strip club opens next door to a church, then the strip club is violating the church's human rights, so then the church has a right to shut down the strip club. This projection and this like reverse thinking. It's like, what? So if I walk around, if I sit in my house with my shirt off, then I'm violating the human rights of my neighbor, so he has the right to like have me thrown in jail for having my shirt cut off. What the fuck? You're violating my human rights. I don't like how you look. You're in jail. Total hypocrisy. Ass backwards. But those kinds, the average age of Bill O'Reilly's viewer is 72 years old. So these are people who are like still alive, still cognizant, but in 10 years they'll be senile, and then they'll be dead, and then it's gone forever. So we're actually seeing that old bigotry, we're like saying goodbye. It's like as it's going away. In those movies with the vampires, as you're driving the stake through their heart, they scream really loud, like they scream the loudest as they're dying. Kind of like that. Like now Bill O'Reilly and all these even the younger ones, like who's the guy who's really creepy? The younger one, Greg Hutzvelt, and the Laura Ingrams of the world, and Mark Levine, and Michael Savage, and Ann Coulter, and these ones. They're just like, no, what's coming to the world? It's all over. Vampires. And then, and then they're out. They're screaming the loudest right before they're over. The night is the coldest part of the day. The darkest part of the night is right before the sun comes up. So yeah, it's getting better. And then pretty soon, all the gay people will have just as many rights as any heterosexual couple all over the world, and that's good. Personally, I'd love it if half the guys all of a sudden turned gay, because then it's more for us, more ladies for the normal men. But look, somebody's gay because they're gay. You're not gonna I guess the gay conversion therapy people. I think Michelle Obama's gay husband, who obviously is gay, was involved in that. It was maybe even the leader of it, and they stopped it. They actually closed up shop and apologized for trying to do it. All these people who think that you can make somebody ungay. I even met a fundamentalist Christian who said that becoming a fundamentalist Christian stopped him from being gay. It's just futile. Somebody's gay. I mean, I can pick a gay person out, a gay dude out from 50 feet away, and especially the lesbian women. You're gay, you're gay. That's just how it is. Yeah, I support gay marriage. I also support gayness. I made a video like 4 years ago saying that we should be homo pros. Homo pros are heterosexual people who pretend that they're gay, just to support the gays. That's pretty hardcore. I think there was a rapper like a year ago a black ghetto dude who came out with an album called "I'm Gay." And it's not that he's gay, but it's that he's happy. See, the other meaning of gay, haha. But he was kind of like making fun of, homophobic people. But all these, gay people are coming out. I guess there's the first openly gay, like baseball player, openly gay, like basketball coach, openly gay this, openly gay that. So, yeah, man, pretty cool. I like it. And I support that gay marriage, man. Sign me up. I mean, don't sign me up. I'm not going to get gay married, but sign me up as a supporter of gay marriage. And then we can blast our minds so far open. Maybe we could start polygamy again, where men can be married to multiple women. No. But it's just as these homosexual relationships are just as real. And if they're just as real, then they deserve just as many rights. We don't need sanctity of marriage is the sanctity of two people together. Back in the early days, when they made that quote, a man and a woman get married. I mean, this is when they were like, the Hebrew tribe was a tiny little tribe, and the best thing for them to do is to multiply so that they could not get wiped out and subsumed into the Assyrians next door, and they could actually start their own kingdom and carry on with their religion that they thought should take over the world because it was superior to everybody else. It's kind of like, how the Australians needed to populate really quickly so that they could fight off the Japanese, But we don't need to do that anymore. Did you crazy Christians ever consider that? We don't need more people in the world, so we don't need these gay people to pop out babies. Let them adopt the babies, because the babies need parents. And it's all about love anyways, and having an open mind. So anyways, yes to gay marriage. Okay, peace out.